Do you believe this stuff that's coming out of your mouth? There's no way you do.
This was a credit card cuckold.
Love wins out in the end, you know?
All right, welcome back, everybody. Casey on tap. It is what? Thursday night, September the 19th of the year 2024. Douglas William Wade right there with me as always. Hello, Doug. What's going on down there in Southwest Ohio? How the hell are you,
We're
buddy?
doing great. Actually, my neighborhood is hosting the LPGA Tour this week, all right here at TBC Rivers Bend for the week, playing in this event. So it's pretty cool.
How's your game? How you been playing lately?
You know, not bad. I bet it's a busy time of year, so it's tough to get a lot of practice in. But I've been playing all right. Got some good events coming up here, so hopefully we can end the year pretty strong. Any year that you win a Lima Masters Championship, no matter what happens the rest of the year, you have to consider it a good year.
Especially when one of the players on your team was a saboteur.
Yeah, it makes it extra special. There's no doubt about it.
New places, new faces to the Casey on Tap platform. Rockville, Maryland. I think that's where the band OAR is from originally. I know they had some Ohio State love, but I think they're from Rockville, Maryland. So crazy game of poker, baby. Let's go. Genoa? Is that how you pronounce it, Doug, in Ohio? Genoa?
Genoa? I know. Isn't there a? Yeah, I guess Geneva. No V in there.
Is it Geneva? Genoa. No disrespect to our listeners in Genoa if it's pronounced Geneva, which I don't think
Maybe
it is.
That's
but
the person's name. I've never heard of that city.
Claremont, Florida. Hello, Claremont. Fishers, Indiana. And brace yourself here, Doug. I'm going to try this one. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan in Canada.
Wow.
We have 5 countries now. We have the great United States. We've got Germany, Canada, or as Michael Scott would say, Canada, South Africa, and the Netherlands. 5 countries in 70 cities.
I mean, we've always said we're here for the people, and it's it makes me feel great to know that the people are starting to understand that. And I think maybe my picks the last few weeks are propelling some of these new spectators we have. At least I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, and rightfully so, Doug can't wait. He can't wait to get to those picks. And again, rightfully so. However, patience. All good things come to those who wait. We will get to our Lock City winners of the weekend. Doug will officially announce our records coming up very soon. However, first thing I want to do here is the fan feedback. We're going to do the fan feedback a little differently tonight. Doug and I, as a platform, are going to be the fans, and we're going to provide a little feedback for someone who deserves it. A few episodes ago, we had a great friend, Ed Conley, Captain Cardinal. He was on with his guest picks. I wanted to share some love for his son. Okay, so we're the fans. His son, Noah, who is a senior at Mentor High School. And this young man has played on the football team all 4 years. He has also played in the marching band, Doug, all 4 years. So it's one of the neatest things. You know, he actually plays in the band performance at halftime with his shoulder pads and uniform on. It's a really, really neat thing. But the cherry on top for this fan feedback is that he was just today voted homecoming king for Mentor High School. So, Doug, if we could give him a round of applause from us. Noah Conley, ladies and gentlemen, Mentor High School. He was voted the homecoming king. 4 years as a football player on an undefeated Mentor team right now who's going to make some noise and in the marching band. So there you go. Congratulations to the Conleys and to Noah. All right, Douglas, let us get into the nectar. Okay, we have the mailbag coming up. We do have mailbag questions for all you naughty folks out there hoping for a little maple syrup tonight. There may or may not be some naughtiness, but there are questions for the mailbag. But before that, Doug and I need to provide the winners. Doug, the forum is yours. Let the people know about our records the last couple of weeks.
So we've done this for 3 weeks now. Excuse me. We've had college football for 3 weeks, and we've had the NFL now for 2 weeks, and we've had guest pickers, I should say, for 2 of those 3 weeks. So in college,
I will have you know before you say this, I am not counting my first week.
Okay. Well,
and I'm not a man that does mulligans very often, but I was joking around with Temple. I was joking around.
So with that being said, and for college football,
you could take your 3 off too the first week because you were 1 and 2.
Yeah,
it was week 0.
I wouldn't do that because I was focused. But however, you're 2 and 7.
That's fine. I wasn't.
You're 2 and 7 in college on the season. That first week was 0 and 3. So you're
2 and 4.
2 and 4 from week 2 on. But you're 4 and 2 in the NFL. You are 4-2 in the NFL.
Yep.
Had you listened to me on that Monday night play last week, you would have been 5-1. But 4-2 is pretty
Yeah.
solid.
Well, I didn't. So don't worry about it. I didn't.
I am.
So what am I? 6-6 total on the year? Then what is
You're
that?
six.
Is that what that is?
No. You're 6-9. You're 6-6 if you take week 1 off.
No, I've already said I was
Okay.
taking week 1 off. No, you keep on, but you
I
keep
am.
on
I
wanting to put
am.
that
I
on.
am.
I'm telling you right now, I'm taking those 3 off. I didn't do any. I took Temple. I was joking around, and that's the end of it. So there. That's how you do
Are you
it.
done? Now 5-4 in college football. I'm 5-4 in college football. Went 2-1 last week, and I am 5-1 in the NFL.
Mhm. That's
In the
true.
NFL, we had a good week last week, so hopefully we can keep that rolling, keep that going. There's
Yeah.
some good plays on the board this week. I must update our guest picker last week was 1-2 in college and 1-2 in the NFL, so he was 2-4.
Captain Cardinal Ed Conley, he texted me his plays, and I think, you know, in honor of his son, in honor of the great week they've had, why don't I just quickly I want to put these on the record because he was 1-2 in college. He's taking Kentucky minus the 19.5. They're playing OU. Oh yeah. Texas, Louisiana Monroe, the over 52.5. And he's doing something interesting here. You should get bonus points. He's not doing a teaser. His third pick of college is a 2-team parlay. So it's actually like harder.
Wow.
He's taking the Ohio State Buckeyes minus the 39.5 and the over 52.5. So those were his 3
He's trying to make the people some money. We'll see what happens there. A little
in the
parlay.
National Football League. He's taking the look at this one. Wow, right out of the gate. He's taking the fighting Jimmy Harbaugh's plus the 1.5 at Pittsburgh. He's taken the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all of a sudden laying almost a touchdown, 6.5 against the Broncos. And he's taken the Saints Eagles over the 49.5. So there's our guest picker for this week, Edward Captain Cardinal Conley, with us in spirit. Those are his picks. All right, Douglas, let's go, buddy. You're on fire.
All right, here we go. College football. Play number 1. We got burnt.
Okay.
We got burnt last week. My one loss in college football was the teaser that I played with LSU that hit along with Florida State. Absolute disgrace of a program right now, Florida State is. And now Florida State's got Cal coming in town, who is off to a very good start. And somehow
Right.
Florida State is a 3-point favorite. That's absolutely not. Give me Cal.
No?
Give me Cal getting 3 points against Florida State all day long. That's play number 1. Play number 2. I'm going against my fellas who have made me a legend so far this year.
Okay.
Northern Illinois is now a 14-point favorite after their huge win against Notre Dame against Buffalo. That's too many points. Northern Illinois was projected not to be very good this
Who are
year.
they playing?
They're not very good this year, and they're coming off a huge win. There's no doubt there's got to be somewhat of a letdown. I want Buffalo getting 14 against Northern Illinois.
Okay.
Play number 3. We've got 2 undefeated teams, I believe, with BYU and Kansas State, which is a big game. Kansas State's ranked top 20. BYU is getting 6.5 points at home.
Well, it must be. I can't. It's at
Oh, it's
BYU.
at BYU. It's too many points. BYU 6.5 against Kansas State, play number 3. That was the sigh of a man who has no idea what he's about to do. I mean, what is going on here?
What you just said was funny, but it's not true. It's not true. Do you know right now? Did you know? I just happened to, for whatever reason, scroll. Did you know right now you can wager on the Ohio State Michigan spread? Tell me what you think the line is.
Well, the
Wow.
game's in Michigan this year, right?
No, it's in
Oh,
Ohio
it's in Ohio
State.
State.
It's at Ohio State.
I'll say right now the line is 11.
How about 20 points?
That's a big number. I'm
Actually,
not betting against Ohio State though.
I have, for the record, I have my first 2 picks right here, and I'm just waffling on the third because I want to make sure I'm 3-0 for the people because college is where I should be excelling. Okay. Here's my first pick. And I'm going to take this team till the cows come home, until they prove me not to. Good old Rocky Top. Now I think this Tennessee team, I think they have a chance to be in the college football championship game. Watching these boys, they are watching Georgia last week in their offense. You got to be able to score in college football. You've got to be able to score and score and score. I'm going to take Tennessee minus the full 7 at Oklahoma. I'm not gonna do that thing I did last week with Purdue. As soon as that ball got kicked, I'm hanging on for dear life. Like, come on, hang on those 10 points. No. I'm gonna take the Tennessee Volunteers minus the 7 at Oklahoma. I'm going to go against one of my favorite preseason plays. Now this one's gonna feel like this one might zap me.
Well, don't tell me you're going against the Utes.
I'm going against the Utes.
This might be the best game of the weekend.
I'm going against the Utes. I'm taking Oklahoma State showing me a couple things this year, and they're playing at home and they're laying the 2.5. And I love the Utes. I think they're going to end up winning that conference, but I think they're going to lose on the road against the Van Gundys. Is it Van Gundy? Jeff Van Gundy? The mullet guy? So I'm taking Oklahoma State minus the 2.5. Okay. Now my third pick. This one has squirrely written all over it, but I cannot go against my instincts, my initial instincts. I can't. It just feels like one of those games. I just don't think Michigan has the offense to keep up. They're gonna have, if Michigan holds USC to under 20, like 21 points or under, then they boy, I don't know if Michigan can score 21 points. I mean, 21-17 would be the only way Michigan covers that game. So I'm taking USC minus 5.5. That's it. Tennessee, Oklahoma State, USC. 3 favorites.
It's funny. You took 3 favorites. I took 3 underdogs.
Those are the picks. Those are the college picks. Boom.
3 favorites against 3 dogs.
Alrighty. Now to your specialty, the National Football League. Go ahead, buddy.
Well, we've been following a theme here. Obviously, in the NFL, what happened the previous week plays a lot into what's going to happen the following week. When you get a good team that's coming off a tough loss, big loss, poor performance, most of the time they're going to bounce back. And so you're looking for those combinations of teams coming off great wins against teams coming off bad losses. Those are typically the games I'm trying to find. They're hard to find. They're not always out there, but those are what you're looking for. But my first play is a team that's coming off an absolutely horrific loss, probably the worst loss of the season so far for any NFL team, and they're going against a team that is also coming off a horrific loss. However,
I know
one team is better than the other team, and I'm going to take the Ravens -1 against the Cowboys. I just do not see Baltimore going 0-3. Dallas really got slapped last week. Their confidence is shaken.
Well, the line's 1.5 right now.
It's up to 1.5. Good. So people are on the same thought I am. So the Ravens -1.5 against Cowboys. Play number 1. Play number 2. And I'm going to ride betting against this team probably almost every week.
Can I say something real quick about that Baltimore game?
Yeah.
It makes me very sad. Is that, as you probably know, Dallas opened as a 1.5 point favorite, and it has been bet all the way over because Baltimore's going to kick their ass.
Well, you said the same.
Dallas is so sorry.
You said the same thing about Cleveland. It was bet in Cleveland's favor, and they got spanked. So you just
let me tell you this. Thank the good Lord Dallas got. If we didn't win that, Dallas is going to be 5-12. They're soft. They're not that good, and it doesn't matter. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Belichick and the boys will be there next year, but this is going to be a rough year. Holy cow.
Sounds like we're in agreement there. Play number 2, as I was saying before, coming off two teams that both had great wins last week. However, one of these teams is continuously favored by way too many points week after week after week. Yes, they're one of the best teams in the league. Yes, they're defending world champions. Yes, they find ways to win all the time, but they do not cover. They do not cover very well. And now they got to go into Atlanta, giving up 3.5 points. I don't see it. Cousins looked a lot better last week. He got his footing under him. Bijan Robinson played better. Drake London played better. The defense showed up. I think the Falcons kind of ride that momentum after that Monday night win, and I will take them getting 3.5 points against the Chiefs. Play number 2. We're going to a little teaser here because these set up perfectly. And I know last week we talked about dogs and cats getting eaten all over the state of Ohio. Well, guess what? It is time for those dogs and cats to stand up and announce themselves.
They're going to stand up.
The state of Ohio is showing up here in the NFL in week 3.
Oh,
the Browns are currently 6.5 point favorites I can tease them down to basically a pick 'em against the Giants
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
I'm going to couple that with the Bengals, who are 7.5-point favorites at home on Monday Night Football. Joe Burrow's incredible in prime time. He played better last week. They lost a brutal game against the Chiefs. It's just absolutely brutal. The Bengals are going to bounce back after being 0-2. I can get the Bengals down to 1.5 at home, tying them with the Browns at home against the Giants. So I'm taking an all Ohio teaser with the Browns and Bengals for play number 3.
Okay. I mean, listen, I like it. I like where your head's at. What the hell? All right. So here's what's going on here in the NFL. I mean, the Browns, of course, they get the Giants. My God, the Giants are so garbage. Okay, but I refuse. I can't. I won't take. I mean, I refuse to take the Browns, even though that's a freaking lock. All right, my first pick. Okay. Well, actually,
This pause will be edited.
all right. Here's where I'm going. My first pick. I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals at home +3. Okay, they're getting the 3 points from the Detroit Lions, who are coming off, they're coming off a loss at home. Tampa Bay is much improved, but all things considered, Detroit did some bad things, shot themselves in the foot. They're going to be geared up, ready to go. They're well coached. They're physical as hell. I got it. Cross country, 4:00 game. I think the Cardinals kind of found their stride. Your boy Harrison Jr. sure did last week. So give me the Cardinals at home +3. I'll take the candy there. All right. I'm not just saying this because they played Cleveland. It was the only game that I could see on television in this market last week. The Jacksonville Jaguars are no good, and something's wrong with what's his name?
Trevor Lawrence.
Don't say it. The court Trevor Lawrence. Watching him and Doug Peterson. In the NFL, the coach quarterback combo. I mean, Doug Peterson looked like a guy you'd see at the bowling alley on Friday night. Like, hey, you mind if I join? Like, no, bring your visor. You look like a great bowler. And something's wrong with Trevor Lawrence. Cleveland's defense came to play inside the 20-yard line. They were flying around. I'm not just a homer. I know what I'm seeing, but Deshaun Watson, I think Cleveland was 2 for 15 on third downs. Deshaun Watson did everything he could at the end of that game in terms of clock management to lose that game. He tried his hardest, and the damn Jaguars had a chance right there at the end. I think the Jaguars are bad. I don't think Cleveland's that good. I really don't. I don't think Dallas is that good. So that was a war of attrition in that game. I think Jacksonville's terrible. So give me the Bills at home minus the 4.5 is what I'm getting at. I'll take the Bills. I don't have any faith in Jacksonville whatsoever. Now, my play of the day, and this is gonna look like the Johnny Public play. Okay, it's the New Orleans Saints, and the Saints and the Eagles. This isn't like a Johnny Public play. I've unfortunately we watched the Eagles that Friday night in Brazil. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, he won me. I won so much money on him when he was in college. I couldn't have less respect, not as a person now. That's Deshaun. I couldn't have less respect as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is garbage. He's hot garbage. Their defense is terrible. The Eagles are still, they're still being handicapped like the team that went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. And it's not that team, period. This New Orleans Saints team is no joke. It's not a fluke. They are nasty. David Carr is playing under center. The most snaps in the National Football League from under center. Their play action game, their Alvin Kamara, their deep pass game, their defense. I will take the Saints at home minus the 2.5. And if the Eagles go in there and whoop up on the Saints, well, shame on me. But right now, they are just a much better football team. And Doug, I don't think they're getting respect from. I don't think this number is giving the Saints the proper respect. And I don't think the Eagles aren't that good. I mean, on Monday night we saw what happened. That touchdown drive they gave up there when they took the lead after their goofy ass coach made that terrible decision. Their defense is just terrible. So I'll take the Saints. I mean, the Saints are on a damn mission right now. Those are my 3 picks. The Cardinals plus the 3. Buffalo minus 4.5, and New Orleans minus the 2.5. That's what's going on there. What do you think?
You don't want to know what I think.
Good. Well, then, if you don't have anything nice to say, then keep it to yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are our hot picks, our winners for the week, college and pro. like Doug said, not too bad, not too shabby so far. So gamble at your own risk, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see when the dust settles. We'll see another 6-0 perform. Well, not another, the first 6-0 performance by moi. Douglas, what do you say we pivot and go to the fan favorite mailbag? What do you say,
Let's
buddy?
do it.
We need a mailbag theme song.
Yeah, we do. We got to get something like catchy that just starts playing and everybody knows what's coming.
All right. The mailbag, as always, sponsored by Jackson Gray Jewelers in Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a special occasion coming up and you need something to knock the socks off of your girlfriend, spouse, husband, boyfriend, etc., contact Chad Verhoff, Master Jeweler at Jackson Gray Jewelers. And of course, also sponsored by 310 Labs. 2 indie gaming partners passionate about Playmates nationwide. Download YASS, yet another Spider Solitaire today. Play the deal of the day. See how you rank against people all over this country. You'll be glad you did. All right. To the mailbag we go, ladies and gents. Number 1. Do you guys have any real-life bad beat stories to share? Sounds like there might be a few doozies in there over the years. Thanks, Mike from West Virginia. Good question. Because we talked about being gamblers. Do you have any?
I had so many that it's you can't even describe them. I mean, obviously, just a few weeks ago with the Titans Bears, but the worst bad beat I've ever had in my life, and I don't have these vivid like memories
Right.
like you and Dom and my boy Stolly. Like you guys can remember like every little detail. I just remember, and I'm sure if I looked it up, it would be confirmed that there was a bowl game between Duke and Cincinnati about 6-8 years ago, a football game.
Yeah.
And there was like a fumble at midfield, and when the guy ran it back like 50 yards, it was one of the most horrific bad beats I've ever been a part of in my life. I need to go back.
That's actually, if you watch the Van Pelt, do you watch that segment, the bad beats on the Van Pelt
I mean, I
Sports
have
Center?
before, sure.
That particular moment that you're talking about is on the montage.
Oh,
It's on his opening
anybody
montage.
who had
Yep.
money on that game remembers that game, whether you won it or lost it. It was the most unbelievable final 2 minutes of a game. It was just incredible. But yeah, there's been some bad ones. Yeah.
You know what? I'll stick with that one. In terms of, this was actually, I was on the right side of a horrible beat, meaning when you snatch, the reason why I'm bringing this one up is because it's actually also on that montage. It's the last thing they show. Do you remember when the Buckeyes played Northwestern in Evansville and Northwestern was winning the whole game? And they did the whole lateral the ball back and forth.
Yeah.
And the Buckeyes, I was on the Buckeyes. And they were, I want to say, a 7 or 8 point favorite, and they were losing the entire game. They had just taken a lead by 3. So there you go. That's to Mike in West Virginia. Both of those plays that we're referencing are on the opening montage of bad beats for Scott Van Pelt. Doug was on the Duke Cincinnati bowl game where Cincinnati had back-to-back fumble recoveries for touchdowns from midfield to cover that spread. And then I was on the Buckeyes who jumped on Northwestern, tried to ladder the ball 6 times backwards, and the Buckeyes jumped on it in the end zone to win by 9 or 10. One of the most horrific beats for people on Northwestern that night. All right. So we could do a whole show on these. Oh yeah. All right. Question number 2 from April in Athens, Ohio. Oh yeah. I broke up with my boyfriend recently. Let's see if she gives ages. Let's see. I broke up with my boyfriend recently because he refused to stop trying to suck my toes. We were dating 8 months. I told him many, many times I didn't want my feet touched, massaged, or sucked. He's now guilt tripping me constantly. Should I go back? April from Athens, Ohio.
So she broke up with him because he would not stop sucking her toes?
Yeah, so he kept on trying to put her feet in his mouth.
I mean, and she told him no repeatedly. Like, what? No, you should not go back to him, April. What are you talking about? I mean, you don't want your toes sucked. The guy keeps doing it. No. I mean, no. Is he going to stop sucking her toes?
That's.
I'm so confused.
I mean, that's what we'd have to. That's the question.
I mean, if he's willing to come back and agrees to not suck the toes like you asked, then then that's a call that you need to make, and that's, I would understand whatever decision you made. However, if he's saying no, I want you back, but I'm still going to suck your toes at any possible time I can, despite you not wanting it, then no, April, no, you should not get back with him. That would be my advice.
I'm going to say no. I think it's, listen, dude, he's someone that's like, think about it, Doug. I mean, how many times would a woman have to tell you no to stop sucking on her toes?
Yeah,
How many times?
I don't get that one.
How many times? Once? One time? That would be enough, right?
Zero, honestly.
Yeah, but if you were like, hey, baby, and she's like, I don't like that. You're going to keep going to the toes?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So I personally think you need to, because that's a very strange, that's a weird perv move. Toe suckers, I think there's like Alcoholics Anonymous. I think there's a Toe Suckers Anonymous. He needs to get into that group real quick and talk about it with other toe suckers. April, you need to run. All right.
Yeah.
Question number 3, ladies and gentlemen of the mailbag. 40 years old. I've been divorced for 10 years. Started seeing a woman who, same age, and she's married. 3 years later, her divorce is final, which took way longer than I expected. And now I catch her lying about little things like drinking at her kids' sporting events, eating gummies and acting a fool. Then yelling at me saying, quote, she just wanted some energy, unquote. Leave me alone. Starting to think that all these red flags are telling me to go in a different direction. Any thoughts? I know you talk about addiction quite often. Thanks. Jeff in Indiana.
Okay, so there's a lot to break down here. So first of all, so she is excessively drinking at like sporting events and stuff. He doesn't like that, right? They've had this conversation.
He says essentially he says I catch her lying about little things, which by the way, that's not a little thing, but yeah, so sounds eerily familiar.
So why is she lying? That's number one. Any type of lies, there's a reason. Why are we lying? So
because if you're sucking down booze at your kid's baseball game, maybe you've got a little bit of an issue.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So if you find yourself lying, it's time to look in the mirror and say, why exactly am I lying? What is the cause of that?
Yep.
And so, I mean, it sounds like his concerns are very justified. And now she's doing gummies. I mean, it sounds like she either needs to get her shit together and decide if she wants to be a part of this relationship, or embrace the lifestyle that she's living, I guess, and cut them out so you don't have to lie to people. I mean, I don't know. It's sounds like these two got a lot to work on.
Well, I tell you what, what's the show, the Untold on Netflix, the one about the referee, the NBA referee?
Oh yeah.
It's fantastic. It's called Operation Flagrant Foul.
Yeah, about what's his Tim
Donahue.
Yeah.
There's an FBI agent. There's a line in that he says in that show that just it's perfect. Bear with me here. I'm like, man, this is it's just perfect. He said, you're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. There is no halfway pregnant. And at first you think, well, that's kind of a weird analogy. And furthermore, he says, the point is, once you start telling one lie to your friends and family, and then you tell a second lie, you are now living the lie. There is no truth there, right? So something's either is or it isn't. You're either pregnant or not pregnant. And once you start living a lie, there's so much of this that I can relate to, trying to date, whatever in my life. Doug, you asked the question, why is she lying? People lie when there's something they don't, there's something deep down inside parties they don't want to talk about, right? That's why they lie. If you're sucking down vodka with your Sprite at a mid-afternoon baseball game, it's like the old Jeff Foxworthy. You might have a problem. You might not be a redneck or whatever. If you're drinking at your kids' high school games, if you have your kids at your house for prom and serve them booze, but you and your friends are drinking in a different room, but it's okay. We're not drinking together. If you are listening to my voice and these are the things you're doing, you might want to look in the mirror. This is coming from a Hall of Fame. I haven't drank in almost 9 years, son or daughter, whoever out there. So don't sell it to me. Who the hell eats gummies and say because they want an energy kick?
Yeah,
You don't have to.
unless that's like a Sour Patch Kid, you're not going to get You're not going to get energy from it, right?
Say that again, Doug. Say that again.
I said, unless that's a Sour Patch Kid, you're probably not going to get much energy from that gummy.
Now, Doug, are you a big gummy eater? Is that how you know? No, you just know. You just know because you're a freaking you're past the second grade, right? Like I don't have to eat a bunch of gummies to know that if someone told you that they were eating a gummy behind your back and started acting a fool, and they're saying that they wanted to have energy, they didn't know any better. Just get away from these. She's clearly either pregnant or you're not pregnant. There's no in between. She's bold-faced lying to two people. You and herself. Okay? Trust me. Run for the hills. Because what this woman will do, and by the way, she was married for 3 years and you weren't and you were dating. She was lying. She was living a lie to her family, to her friends for 3 years. How would you expect her to just pop out and not be? She's going to continue living. That's all she knows is living a lie, right? It's like the analogy of the old fish and the new fish swimming up to each other, and the old fish say to the new fish, "Well, the water's nice today, isn't it?" And the new fish are like, "What the hell's water?" She's been living a lie. She doesn't even realize that she's surrounded in. She's in a fish tank of lies. She's swimming around the lies. Doesn't even realize it. Run for the hills, kid. That was a good one. I would that you understand, and I hate to, Doug. Whenever we say, our advice is to get away. We know how hard it is. Like it's no fun. It sucks. You want to think that it's going to be okay. You want to think, but we're telling. The reason why you're asking us is because we both have been through some crazy stuff. This woman, she's not there. She's lying about drinking. She's lying about thinking gummies are going to give her a freaking energy boost. Who the hell in their right mind says that with a straight face? I thought it was going to. Oh, is that what you thought? Were you ripping a line of cocaine? Or were you throwing some THC in your brain, which affects all of us the same way? I smoked a lot of pot in my day. Jeez, oh, Pete. All right, that was a good one. All right, Douglas, the forum is yours. We could be talking about anything.
I got my 3 kids are all heavy into sports, predominantly basketball, and
Okay.
my 12-year-old is the most. So he's playing fall league basketball, right? So we're in a fall league. Typically, we get 6, 7 kids show up for a game. This last Sunday, we have an 8 p.m. game, which means the kids on our team that are in football don't have football. So we get 10 kids show up, right? So we got all 10 kids there. And for a fall league game, this isn't like AU spring ball where you're just playing to win constantly. Everybody's going to get some playing time. So our normal coach isn't there, but he's texted me. He said, "Hey, you got a coach. Play the kids 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out, rotate them, and then in the last 5 minutes you can win the game." Okay, no problem. So we're playing this team. Starters are in for 5 minutes. We're up a little bit. They come out. Starters come out. Tie game. 10 seconds left. I say, "All right, just Drew, get the ball. Get as far as you can. Let her fly, baby." He gets that ball. 2 dribbles. He's about 10 feet short of half court. Game winner. Boom.
Game winner.
Place
Man.
goes nuts.
How about that?
Fall league win on a Sunday night. Pretty exciting stuff. So there you go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, half court buzzer beater for Douglas William Wade. My name is Casey. Thanks for being with us. Happy gambling, happy winners this weekend, and we'll see you next week. Remember, this is Casey on Tap, where anything goes.